I originally wasn't gonna make this, and especially since my webcam isn't exactly the best when it comes to capturing my sound and stuff like that. And let's see. Hopefully, it's capturing my voice at least decently well. But I guess I just have to basically make it. So Legend of Dragoon. It was a game from my childhood, and it's really the first RPG, pure RPG that I've ever played when I was a kid. And it's basically a game that made me an RPG gamer today. In fact, when I found the game finally at my local video game store, I pretty much wrapped whatever money I could together when I was like 14, 13 or something. And I went out and I bought it. And I haven't regretted it. I think I first experienced it when I was 6 or something. And I've been fully playing it for 14 years at this point. And I've still never really minded just replaying the game. And personal nostalgia aside, I think it should get a remake because it has probably the most unique battle system out of any RPG with the addition command. Basically, the addition command is where's that? There it is. Basically, the addition command is where you press the X button here to at a certain point rhythm at kind of certain point, but so that you can get a second command basically, and it would change up the move and basically make it stronger. However, you couldn't press it too fast or too slow. If you pressed it too fast, then the move wouldn't activate and stuff like that. And some editions were really easy to pull off, but other editions, like the later on editions, were difficult as all fuck to pull off. So that right there is pretty much a unique concept that I have not seen any RPG attempt. And then there's the Dragoon command, which, transformations haven't really have happened in other RPGs before, but I think that Legend of Dragoon was really the first one to do it. Or at least do it right. First off, you could only use magic when you were in the Dragoon state. And there was a certain bar at the bottom for all your party members that would fill up as you did your addition commands. And certain addition commands would fill up the bar faster, but they would be weaker. Whereas other addition commands would be stronger, but they would fill up the bar, a lot slower. So it was a good way to balance it out, basically. And as you moved on the game, there were additions that were definitely a lot stronger than others, which was again a unique concept that I've never seen any other RPG basically copy that formula. So it has a unique formula going for it. And the soundtrack is phenomenal, easily one of the best I've ever heard. the first battle theme that you hear when you start the game is an example. The title theme, I used to just figure out like a stupid dance for it because of how much I love that. The story isn't anything to write home about. By the end of the day, it's I must say, you must save the world, and or you must find this person, kill them. And it had probably a unique plot twist that I'm not going to spoil, but it had a lot of uniqueness going for it. I mean, it's definitely one of those RPGs that you see it and you think it's weird, but when you actually play it, you're like, oh hey, this is really fun. And I've never really minded having to replay the game, and stuff like that. And the characters are pretty cool. Like the main character Darth, for example. When I first saw him, I thought, oh my god, he's so fucking cool. Another character named Rose is a badass female who I looked at her and I was like, wow, she saved somebody who looks badass. She must be badass herself. And as a kid and as an adult, it's like, whatever. But as a kid, first experiencing that, I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And when I fought my first dragon and when I killed it, I felt like such a badass. Oh my god, I just felt like such a badass. Yeah, grinding isn't exactly a main thing, which I've noticed over the years. One of my favorite things to do in RPGs is basically grind. And just basically a bunch of hunky-dory stuff. But and well, I guess I'm really talking about my personal experience with the game and why I say it deserves a remake, but I'm not really saying why it deserves a remake. I guess one of the main reasons is that it came at the end of the PlayStation 1's lifespan. And it was overshadowed by Final Fantasy. Nothing against Final Fantasy. In fact, it's one of my favorite video game series of all time. But I honestly never would have found it without Legend of Dragoon. I never would have experienced Final Fantasy without Legend of Dragoon. And I basically want people to experience what I experienced when I was a kid. I know that that's impossible, but nobody really truly experienced it the way I did. Having the physical disc, putting it in, and yeah, it's on the network and stuff like that, and you can download from there for $5-6 or something like that. But not many people really have internet now. There are a lot of people who have internet, but there aren't really that many people who have internet where I live. And I'm just thinking here, what if they do make it a remake? Maybe they should do kind of an action RPG approach, or maybe they should just keep it the same, but have kind of you going around the field or something, similar to Hyperdimensional Neptune, only improve upon the formula and make it a lot better. Make it unique. Or, just keep the gameplay the same. Doll up the visuals, add exclusive stuff to it to make it seem like it deserves, to make it seem so that feels like it's a proper remake. Like, I look at Final Fantasy VII and I think, wow. And when I first looked at Final Fantasy VII, I looked at it and I was like, I didn't like, oh my god, it's getting a remake! Yay! I'm like that now, but when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's getting a remake. Okay, so what about Final Fantasy? So what about World of Final Fantasy? Honestly, the Final Fantasy VII remake was an afterthought to me when I looked at the new Final Fantasy games that were coming out. Like, I'm not like that now. I mean, I'm happy that it's getting a remake, but not at first. I mean, I was on the fence about it at first. In fact, if you saw my reaction to Final Fantasy VII getting a remake, I basically fangasm like, oh my god, it's getting a remake, wow. But if The Legend of Dragoon got a remake, I'm pretty sure that I would be having the exact same reaction that I'm having right now. In fact, to be honest, it's just sad to see that such a unique formula in such a unique game basically getting lost in the passage of time. Like Final Fantasy VII, like Final Fantasy, that shit is gonna be timeless. Like I'm pretty sure when I'm like 60 or something, kids, 20-year-olds like me are still gonna love Final Fantasy, but they're gonna see, but they're not gonna look at the Legend of Dragoon. I mean, well, they're gonna look at the Legend of Dragoon, but they're gonna be like, meh, meh. I'm gonna keep playing Final Fantasy VII, and like, I guess my main inspiration for making this video was I recently found out that Dart was supposed to appear in a game called PlayStation All-Stars as a DLC character, but he got canceled. I know that it's after the fact, like PlayStation All-Stars is old news now, but it's still sad to say the least. Like, I would have probably bought it just to play as Dart alone. And and maybe that would prompt Sony to make a Legend of Dragoon 2, or maybe just a remake of the Legend of Dragoon. Like, I don't think that it should get a sequel. Well, I do. It's just, I think that it should get a remake first. Like, maybe pretty up the visuals and stuff like that. And I know I haven't really explained why I think that it should get a remake, like, in full detail, but I've mainly just been talking about my experience. Like, I'm a nostalgic asshole, but that's just it, though. I mean, I don't think that I don't think I could really make this video without sounding like a nostalgic asshole, but there are many other reasons, but my fucking dad's playing guitar downstairs, and oh my god. And I can't really think properly right now about why I say that should get a remake, but the main reason is because I don't want it to get lost in the passage of time. Like, again, when I'm 60 years old, I'm going to be talking about Legend of Dragoon, and my grandkids are going to be like, what's that, Grandpa? And then I'm going to be talking about Final Fantasy, and they're going to be like, oh, I love that! And, it's just, I don't want it to get lost in the passage of time, god damn it. I mean, I just want a fucking remake or something. Because it is a forgotten RPG, basically. In fact, some people have probably tuned on to this video and be like, the fuck is the Legend of Dragoon? But again, Legend of fuck, I hate doing that. But Legend of Dragoon is on the PSN network. You can buy it on PS3, you can buy it on PS Vita. I'm not sure about PS4, but I'm hoping that it's on PS4. But it's probably just going to be one of those things that gets lost in the pass of time, and I don't want that. And I guess that's what this video is about. Just me just talking out of my ass, talking about why I want The Legend of Dragoon to get a remake and shit like that. And yeah, that's basically it. I just don't want The Legend of Dragoon to get lost in the pass of time. That's it, really. Still though, I'm probably gonna wind up doing a playthrough of that game in the future, as soon as I can find the fucking thing. Later.